Yeah, I'm Rajan, 40 years old, single, so no kids to worry about. Although I got a lot of nieces and nephews to keep me entertained. Yeah, living in Edgware at the moment, and yeah, that was it really.
Nice. Again, yeah, again, you got loads of nieces and nephews, so it probably keeps you busy and stuff. Um, what does okay? Obviously, you've been with me for six. I was at 6 months coming up to end now.
Yeah, beginning of February.
What was your pivoting point? That you decided I want to make a change. I want
Yeah,
to reach out to someone. Was there any struggles? Have you done something like this before, or like a PT, or like just background in
yeah,
before affinity?
yeah. So probably like a lot of people on the program, I've thought about it for a long time. You see it, you see on the internet people, going on these diets and things, and it's always like, yeah, I'll do it at some point or
Yeah,
when the time is right. But then I'm someone who enjoys all my holidays. So I think, oh, I got holidays coming up. I don't really want to be dieting on my holidays. So I thought, okay, when I come back from holidays, then I can start something. So, and that's probably just, it carried on like that for a while.
yeah.
You just think, okay, I'll do it in the future. And then, so late last year, my sister passed away, um, after a short illness. And then that just made me realize, life is very short. So
Mm,
if you want to do something, don't think about it, just sort of do it. And this is a positive thing to do. So that changed my mindset a lot.
yeah,
Um, and another factor is also being South Asian. I know diabetes is a big issue. My dad has it, his brothers had it, my granddad had it. So it almost felt like inevitable in a way that it'll fall down to me. So I thought I could do something to prevent that happening. And weight gain is a big part of getting diabetes. So that yeah, all those factors together, I think then prompted me to sort of make that change.
and yeah, obviously you said, that everyone's got the pivoting point. Obviously,
Yeah,
unfortunately for you, yours was obviously, I'm guessing, more linked to sister passing away as well. You're like, it kind of shook you a bit, right? Saying that, oh my
yeah,
God, like, she had a whole life.
mhm,
And, things happen. People take it for granted that, as you said yourself, I'll start after the holiday. Or, you know what, I'll do it on Monday. Or, you know what, I'll do it once my kids are older. Or any other reason. Or I'll do it
yeah,
next year because this year I've got like six weddings to go to. And we get that a lot. We get a lot of people saying that. We go on a call with them and they were like, I'm interested, but I have this coming up. Can we do it like, hey, I'm like, people who want to make a commitment and a change, they shouldn't
yeah,
be, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow or I'm going to do it. I'll give you an example. If let's say you had a bad day, you message me on the chat, hey, Vinay, had a bad day. I've gone over my calories already and it's a Thursday. If you didn't message me and you kind of went on with it, you'd be like, you know what, I'll just go on with it on Monday. I'll restart on Monday. But the person who wants to win and do it properly will be like, you know what, okay, cool. I've had a bad day. There's no restarting on Monday. Next morning, or no, next morning, the next meal is like, no, back to square one. I'm going to do back to basics. Um,
yeah.
which is a mindset you need. I think mindset you've had, which is really, really important as well.
Mhm.
Um,
And oh, I was just going to add at that time when I was thinking of doing it,
yeah,
incidentally, I was just talking to my cousin Divesh
yeah,
about doing it, and I didn't realize. And then he told me he was on a plan, and it was with you guys,
yeah.
and so I could see the results coming through from him as well. So that further boosted. Okay, I need to do this
You saw
now,
the live,
sort of thing.
you saw the living proof of it, or you kind of knew how he looked before,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now what he looks
So I could
like. It's a
see
changed
through it.
man, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And
So
sometimes it helps when you see that
to
live.
visualize,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you see
So I
obviously, I know
see
you
him.
see people you see other people on Instagram photos and stuff like that, which is good. It motivates you, but you had that physical of shit. I know someone who's literally just done it,
The real life, yeah. So that helped
which
a
is
lot.
which is, if you were to describe a typical day in Rajan's life before
Mhm.
even joining a program, food wise, habits, training, just
Yeah.
what was your mindset around that?
So average week would probably be so during the week I'd be 3 days in the office, 2 days
Okay.
home. If I'm in the office, beginning of the day, literally I wouldn't think about food for the day in terms of what I'm going to eat. What it would be, I'd go to the office and then generally I don't really have breakfast anyway. If
Okay.
I do, it'll be um, sometimes I'd have like, toast from the office, but lunchtimes, whatever's in the canteen, that would just be my go-to. And the canteen meals in the office can be quite large in
Hmm.
terms of it can be almost a dinner basically. They have, burgers and fries or um, they'll have Italian like pizzas
Yeah.
or Thai food, Japanese food, and just that one meal will be quite a lot. And that's my whole hour lunchtime as well. So I just sit in the canteen with my work colleagues eating that food.
Mm.
And then also we have cakes as well. And like, afternoon they make fresh cakes in the office as well. So if we wanted that, we could have that. Then head home and then it will be dinner straight away. Three or four chapatis with,
Hmm.
rice, dal. Um, and then maybe about 8, 9 o'clock, I might have um, a little small snack or an ice cream or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, that's the days when I'm in office. When I'm at home, um, during the mornings, because I've got access to the foods more easily, then
Yeah.
you'd just be snacking more. I might have crisps or something before lunchtime, and then at lunchtime you have whatever there is. Because I with my parents as well, they sometimes at lunchtime they might just bring like a Greg's cheese and a pasty or something home. So you
Yeah.
end up having that with a snack on the side. And then again, the usual dinners. And every Friday is like a takeaway day. And sometimes you get the leftovers and you have it on Saturday as well.
Hmm.
Um, in terms of movement, I didn't do any sort of workouts. I did like walking, but again, that was mainly just on the weekends. So I did a long walk on a Saturday or a Sunday, and sort of that was enough for me. That was my almost target for the week is one walk a week.
Yeah.
Um, because during the day I was at office, and in my mind at the time, I thought, "Oh, I haven't got time to go, for long walks." So now looking back on it, I can see easily I was probably having 3,000 calories plus a day without even realizing it. It seems almost like a different world compared to where it is now.
It's a mind change, isn't it? A change of mindset. I
Yeah,
remember when you joined as
it
well.
is.
Hey, our first call, this is what I do. A lot of questions because I could see from day one you're committed to it, right? We can tell. When you from day one
Mm,
you're coming, you're asking a question. You are, being proactive. You're thinking about what you're gonna do and stuff, which you, as you said, you're doing in your mind. You're doing the walk to justify. In the week's kind of gone. I'm gonna do my
yeah,
walk. I kind of enjoy it. But your office work didn't really help, right? It's provided you almost like the myself. It's free food, and Indians and free food is like, okay, cool, I'll take that. Like, thank you very much. And as you live with mom and
but
dad
it's
and stuff,
still,
right?
yeah, it was still paid, but it's um, easy access food, I'd
Easy
say.
access, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's there.
yeah,
You don't have to walk out and go get it as well, right?
exactly.
And even at home, you're saying like mom and dad go down, I don't know, like down the high road, buy, oh look, Rajan's home, let's go get him a pasty, or they'll call you, oh, do you want this? And you're like,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
yeah, get,
exactly.
yeah, it's like literally your own takeaway system.
Yeah,
And I feel from where you were, when you first started, if you don't mind mentioning, it's 90 kgs, right? We're
yeah,
now almost coming to 6 months, and we're about 15, give or take 15 kgs down. You
yeah,
sent me a picture of you the other day, like, we talked about it on chat, like literally a picture of you in a t-shirt. And then you
mm,
look at it, you wearing the same t-shirt again, it's like, bloody hell, what the hell happened here? Like, literally, you've cut yourself into half almost.
yeah,
And you're visually like, oh my God, like, you know what? You must feel that when you put that t-shirt on after, what
yeah,
has
yeah.
happened?
And looking back on the pictures as well, I think it's always good to look back because sometimes you don't realize
Mm.
when you're going through the program, because obviously you see yourself like in the mirror or whatever every day.
Yeah,
You sometimes don't, you know, you see it smaller changes, but when you look back 6 months or a year, you can see the huge changes from that.
yeah. And based on that, like, 15 kgs down, what would you say you're at now in terms of results, in terms of, before you mentioned, oh, I didn't have time. You felt like you didn't have time to do things. Where were we timings? And
Yeah.
how do you feel with how you look, mood, lifestyle now, the choices you make?
Yeah.
Where do you think you sit now?
Feel really great at the moment. All my clothes are loose, and this time I had to go shopping to buy smaller clothes rather than larger clothes because everything was tight before. Um, for my belt, one of the big things I see is on my belt notches. I've gone down like 3 notches on the belt, so that just feels good. And even when I'm actually just walking on the street, I physically feel lighter. So I feel I'm walking faster as well, and no aches or pains. Um, on my feet, I used to get like, some sores and stuff sometimes, but I just don't get that um, anymore. And food-wise, like I was saying, a typical day before um, the workouts now, a typical day when I go to the office is uh, on Sunday, I go to
Yeah,
the supermarkets and I buy all my food for the week ahead. So when I go to the office, I take packed lunch now. I don't um, get anything from the office. So packed lunch consists of Uh, at the moment, it's like bagels. I have the high protein bagels
yeah,
with some cream cheese, protein yogurt, and then like 2 pieces of fruit. And that just keeps me going. Actually, keeps me full, keeps me going. And what I do that hour where I used to sit in the canteen with my work colleagues, I no longer sit with them, and I go outside. I go for a walk for that
yeah,
hour. And that is sort of completely transformed things a lot, actually. And just getting the fresh air, not just for exercise, but mentally as well. Just getting outside, getting that air just makes you feel better. Just stick a podcast on and
yeah,
that hour flies by. Then go back to the office, have that lunch, and then yeah, that keeps me going because of the obviously the take higher protein intakes now. Um, that just keeps me going till dinner time when I get home. Before it used to be 3 to 4 chapatis. Now it's two.
yeah,
Odd occasion, I might have three, but that's because I know might be a bit hungry, but I know I can still have that for the day because I haven't eaten as much as lunchtime or something like that.
yeah,
Um, and uh, portion control as well. So when I used to have like, the rotli and shark, I just take whatever I want and put it on my plate. But now I've been, calculating the calories that it takes. It's quite a eye opener on
yeah,
certain things that are high calories and certain things that are lower calories. Um, and so yeah, just keeping within my sort of calorie range. And over time, definitely my stomach must have got smaller because I just get more full now on smaller amounts and I stop when I'm full.
yeah.
Because sometimes I eat on the weekends if I'm having a sandwich at home. If I'm full, I normally always default I have crisps with a sandwich. But now sometimes I have a sandwich and because I'm full after that, I actually put the crisps back,
Yeah.
which I just would never have done before.
It's a change in mindset, right?
Yeah,
Yes, your stomach's shrunk a little bit because obviously you're eating more mindfully. You're training yourself to be portion control and all those kind of things we teach you. But it's also the mindset of like you yourself said it, right? Before you're sitting at lunch at
yeah,
your canteen with your mates or workmates, and everyone around you is eating. So it's like, okay, cool, just eat. Now you're taking
yeah,
yourself out of that situation, right? And we use that tactic a lot with going out. We tell people, by the way, look, yes, you've gone to a restaurant. If you're feeling that pressured, like, people like, let's say you're going to Indian restaurant, you're sitting there, you've taken your bits, right? Rajan's gone there, he's taken his
mm,
like pane, mogole, biscuit, but people are then like, oh, have some, have some. Sometimes it does feel, oh my God, like, especially if the people you're with don't know what you're doing,
what you're doing. Yeah,
right? And sometimes it happens, right? Not everyone in the world is not going to know, and you might not want to share sometimes, which is fine. Um, but let's say they didn't know, and then they're like, "Oh, have it," and because they knew you used to do it before, they knew what Rajan used to do before. He used to eat it anyway, so they're like,
yeah,
come on," and you're like, "Oh God!" And sometimes we feel like the best way. Sometimes when that happens, for me, I am just gonna pop to the loo. You literally take yourself out of that situation. I can guarantee by the time you come back, probably someone else has eaten that, or you're just
mm,
more calmer. You're like, you know what, okay, I'm okay now. It's
yeah,
easier for me as a coach to say that, and some easier, harder for you to carry out. But it's almost like
yeah,
having a mindset of like, you know what, you want it. At the end of the day, you're doing it for you, and
yeah,
you gotta want it, right? You can't just then give in to say, oh yeah, I got told like yeah, they made me eat. No one gonna ever make you eat it.
yeah.
Which I think is
One
big
of the
because yeah, because even you yourself, I remember you saying, work socials were a big thing. You used to have them. You still have them.
mm,
What's your thinking around how you tackle socials now?
So now it's just sort of second nature to probably two big changes is the drinking aspect of it.
Yeah,
So before, if I had to go and say probably have, two or three beers, and just that on its own, it is a lot of calories. So now I've shifted it. I have mainly like gin and like a slimline tonic.
yeah,
But I still have a beer as well. But if I do have one, I'll have half a pint instead of a full pint. So whereas having two full pints, I might have two half pints. So you're still there, you're still having a drink, but you've halved your calorie intake just by making that one simple choice.
yeah.
So that was a big thing for me. And because I know I'm just more health conscious now anyway, my general alcohol intake is less. That's one aspect of it. The other one is as soon as I go out for drinks, people on the way home, it's standard, you get a takeaway,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, you fill up your stomach and stuff. But now, ahead of a social, I will plan what I'm going to eat after that. So it may be something from the night before, or maybe something I've made earlier. So I know when I'm going home, I've got that specific thing to eat,
yeah.
and that just takes away the decision making of because when you're hungry, your mind will just want,
You wonder.
fattiest thing, yeah. But because I've made that choice, I've taken that decision out. Um, I'm much more in control of what I'm eating.
And which is a good thing, right? Drinking is a big part of it. We get asked the same, like, literally, I've got a couple of members who joined like last week or 2 weeks ago. Hey, Vinay, what do I do with drinking? I'm like, ideally, in the first 8 weeks, I want you to know and have a drink because I
Yeah,
want you to see results. In the next 6 months as well, I want to try to cut down. I'm not saying you can't have it, and I'm not saying that, become no more drinking alcohol. That's your own personal choice in life. We'll advise you to say, I cut it down because alcohol, obviously, as you say, 1 to 2, you control it. Get to 3, 4,
mm,
you're a bit like, okay, cool. And the next thing you know, you've walked down and fish and chip shop or wherever it is, right? On the way back home, as you're
yeah,
saying, and your day is gone, right? A
yeah,
beer is high in calories. If you're saying to me, I have 3 or 4 a night, that's your day's worth of food. And on top of that, you've had food. Then you're gonna have more food
yeah.
after you have a beer.
More good.
So it's like
Yeah,
you literally ate 3 days of calories or 2 days of calories in that one evening.
one session.
Then the
Yeah,
next morning you're struggling. And it kind of affects you the next couple of days. It's not just like, oh, next morning I was hungover. You feel it like in your body internally next couple of days,
mm,
which will then bring you down and then the whole mood swings and all those. So we always say like, it's really important to kind of just kind of go all into the process. Don't go half-hearted.
yeah.
If you're gonna do a process or like let's say join us,
Do
do
it
everything.
properly.
Don't do one thing because if you do one thing, it might work,
Yeah,
it'll be slower. But if you go hands-on and all say, you know what, I'm gonna focus on this, and this, and that leads me to with you as well. When we started workouts at, home-based workouts, which was just body weights. Then you said, okay, no, Vinay, actually, I enjoy that. I want to up it now, and we move on, right? The next step
yeah,
would, I've got some dumbbells now, got some bands. It's always about that, like, how can you improve? Even now, 6 months down the road, your question to yourself is, what can I do next? Weight loss is done. You should never,
yeah,
basically, in my eyes, you should never finish. You should always have the next goal. Because if you don't have a next
mm,
goal, you're never gonna push yourself, I say, right?
yeah,
So always keep thinking, I'll have a next goal and stuff. Um, and you briefly touched on it, a day in your life now. You do the meal prepping, office days, um,
yeah.
and all those kind of things.
No,
How do you fit workouts in there now? Before you were saying you had never time, you didn't have time. Now
yeah,
you do all that and have time.
yeah. Because what I like about the workouts is initially I could do it at home because I didn't feel
Yeah,
confident enough to go to the gym and do them. And it's not like a 2 hour workout I'm doing. It's a
yeah,
sort of 30, maybe 40 minutes sometimes workout, which is manageable. And so yeah, work from home 2 days a week as well. So I could do one of the workouts when I come home from work and the other one on a day I'm working from home and then one on the weekend. And um, they're all like realistic ambition. I'm not like, yeah, going to the gym, having to something I'm uncomfortable with, so I wouldn't have probably, stuck with it. But because it's something I could do at home, and now I feel much more confident in that. that the next step will be to go to the gym and use um, a wider, apparatus and things. Because
Yeah.
at home you're just using the weights, but you can use much more. And actually, just last week I went to the gym for the first time in ages, and it felt good as well. I remember at the start of the program as well when any um, exercise I was doing, but I had to support my weight. So stuff like, if you do a planking
Lunges or
or
yeah.
things like that, yeah, I was struggling with those. So planking, like doing a planking, or it was probably 10 seconds. And then I just couldn't support because of my weight. I couldn't support
Yeah.
it. Yesterday, I did it for about 1.5 minutes. So I could just see obviously a break every 30 seconds, but that was something I just couldn't do 6 months ago. So just seeing that in myself, I think, okay, yeah, they've come a long way.
Definitely, 100% you've come a long way. And as you said, right, um, it's making the small things matter. You fixed your food.
Yeah,
That's one part of it. You fixed, oh, should I say, you changed how you ate, you changed how you saw walking. Now, before you were doing walking like on the weekend, now you're doing walking or steps 10K
every
plus
day.
every day. But we've not
Yeah,
then said to you, you know what, drastically to say to you, Rajan, stop all this stuff you're doing. This all the new stick stuff you're going to do. We kind of let you ease into it, right? I'm not saying we're going
mm,
to take you a couple of months to ease into it, but give you a couple of weeks to say, okay, kind of get into it, reflect on it, what I can do, what I can't do. Realistic, obviously, as well. I remember asking you at the start, I wanted you to join gym. You're like,
mm,
realistically, when it's not gonna work, right? Because of working and stuff, which is fine. Hence why we went for
yeah,
the workout option, and that's what we say. If we want to aim for realistic goals rather than if you join the program and say, I'm going to be 40 kgs down in 6 months, I'm like, really? Like, are we? We can do it, but
yeah,
are you being realistic about it? If you say to me, I'm aiming for 10 in the first, you know, month or so, yes, realistically we can do that, and then 10 after, and which is what we're doing, right? We're moving slowly, um, which is good. And you mentioned all it briefly, but what has been your biggest learning curve in the last 6 months?
um, I would say probably learning about food.
Okay.
So, like, macros and things like protein. Before I went on this journey, I always thought having, protein or protein shakes and things was for people who go gym a lot and, do big muscle workouts and things. I actually had no idea that it can, be used for everyone sort of thing. And I didn't know that, the proteins actually make you more full and things like that. When I went out and I was looking at if you look at, the nutritional value on products and things, I would always just look at the fat content or,
Yeah.
the sugars in there. I never paid attention to the other fields. So understanding more about food and, what makes you full, what doesn't, was a big aspect. And then the other one was just planning, meal prep and
Yeah.
planning and taking the thought decisions out for when you're hungry, basically, because you've got something there that you're going to eat. Those were big things. It's funny when people ask you, like when now they've seen the results, they ask, "Oh, how did you lose your, what did you do to lose weight?"
Yeah.
Everyone expects like, oh, one major thing that you've done, like, oh, I've cut out, I don't know, potatoes or something, but it's not like that. It's a lot of small things that I've done that makes the big things happen, sort of thinking.
Everyone thinks it's a magic pill. You come in, we'll give you a magic pill, and off you go. I'll give you a magic
Yeah,
formula that will work regardless, but it's not. Everyone's different. Every client's different. Um, and even I remember you messaging me the other day, and I'm just going to bring it up again. In our weekly check-ins, right? Again, which is one more thing which you did well was be accountable, right? You completed everything we gave you, weekly check-ins, and in your last one, you literally mentioned that, how you felt when you broke into the 75s. You look happier. You had a health report that you're looking at, like, from the
yeah,
past, right? And last March or something, and that weight report
much.
was like, yeah, 93, and till now, you're like, that's 18.2 kgs down. Your BMI's come down. So yes, it's giving you more of a push now to say, shit, man, I've done like something really
Yeah,
good, and
mm,
I can do more. Imagine what I've done in 6 months. If I replicate that again or
yeah,
continue with it, what you can do. And you touched on it a little bit more before time and meal prepping, which has helped you, and your food's been your biggest learning curve. A lot of people ask us, then join us when we have a first call and stuff before the sign up and stuff that, "Oh, I can't do meal prepping. It takes so long. I don't have time. I don't know what to do. Oh, how do I know if I've got, or let's say, husband, wife, if I'm doing it, my wife, my kids, how do I, is this my meals? I don't have time to cook. Yes, I know you have no wife and kids and stuff, but you live with
Mm.
mom and dad. She makes you Gujarati food, rotli, shak, dal, bhat, which you eat, and you wanted to eat all that. How have you kept all that and done meal planning?
Um, and at first it was difficult, only difficult because I never planned meals before.
Yeah,
Didn't used to do that. Um, then over the weeks, obviously, it just gets ingrained to you. It's become part of my routine now. So on the Sunday, yeah, I'll go for a walk, iron my clothes for the week ahead for work and go shopping. Go shopping, get my whatever bagels and yogurts and things for the week ahead. And once it becomes a routine, you don't, you know, it's just it becomes a natural part of what I'm doing.
yeah,
And food wise, like whatever mum makes during the week and stuff, it's kind of set. So like Monday would be, sak and 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭, then next day would probably be rice and a dal, and then Wednesday is probably like a pasta or something. But I think also making other people aware that you're doing this as well helps. So
yeah,
mum and dad know I'm doing this. So actually they don't phone anymore. Do you want anything from Greg's or
yeah,
anything? They'll just come home with healthier options or at lunch times. Um, they eat quite healthy, like salads and things like that. So they just make extra when I'm at home, and then I'll have that as well. And we now make less food in the evenings as well. So when mum used to make whatever 10 chapatis for three of us, it's now six because they always used to be left over in the
yeah.
last 6 months. So all that's reduced as well. And it's probably little things like that you don't see where actually you're saving money as well.
100%.
Um, in that aspect, there's less waste on things.
We get that a lot. We get like, oh my God, Vinay, we've saved so much money. Like I've saved so much money after joining you, because if you one of the customers, yeah, some takeaways before we start weekly. Now we don't.
Mm,
Nowadays, a takeaway is not cheap as well, right? It's a good, as soon as you order it, you're looking around 30 plus, 20 plus every time you do it.
yeah.
Add that up. And that brings me, because you briefly mentioned it, as an investment, you've kind of always invested a figure into the program. A lot of people find, oh my God, I can't afford to, invest that much upfront into this. What are your thoughts on, now that you've done 6 months of it, you've achieved what
Yeah.
you wanted to, you've smashed your goals, you've done everything. What's your intake on, that money spent?
I mean, initially, before you've done any programs, you think, oh, okay, that's a big commitment to make. But actually, over the course of the like 6 months, if you look at the price daily, it's quite minimal. And actually, what I've done before, if I went on sort of fad diets and things like that, you're just spending so much more money on and wasting it as well. So you don't have it as an exact figure, from before. When you're doing these programs, you're buying all these foods and then it just doesn't work out. Or you'll join the gym for like 3 months and then you'll carry on paying for it, but never go to it and just waste a lot of money there. So 100% is value for money, especially with the amount I've learnt as well. Beforehand, I would, go on your phone and you look at, best ways to have a diet. And when you go on social media and things, there's just so many opinions and so many do's. Don't, one will say do this, one will say don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know the best sort of route to take. But then on something like this, you've got sort of clear guidance, you're following the plans, and then you see the results. So in my mind, great, great value.
And what made you, because you mentioned the social media and stuff, what made you go for someone like us, an online company? You're not face to face with me in terms of, I'm not at gym floor with you. You don't really see me that much unless we have like a social event. What made you
Yeah.
decide, I'm going to go for someone online based for 6 months to, I'm having a PT on the floor who's going to guide me? What made you kind of pivot this way?
So there's probably two things again, because I knew someone on the plan, which was Divesh, so I knew a bit of how the program worked,
Yeah.
and also the fact that I wasn't confident to go to the gym and have like personal trainer on the floor there, pushing, pushing, pushing in that way. I don't think I think I needed to sort my food out first.
Okay.
Because as I say, but you see everywhere, food is more than half, probably like 80, 90% of that. And then the other bit is 10% is the um gym and working out and things like that. So I needed to work on that first. And that's where I thought you guys would help a lot with that. And the fact that you specialize in Gujarati people as
Yeah.
well. So you know the types of foods that we eat. We don't have to, if it was somebody else, might have to explain, like I had this sort of food, and it just gets complicated. So no, straight away, if I say to you, I don't know, dokri or you know, bhat or dal or whatever, you'll know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just that just makes things so much more easier. And the fact that obviously we log all our food on the MyFitnessPal, so you've got a guide as well, which tells you what if you're having dal, okay, you need to select this on MyFitnessPal because they have so many options on there. Sometimes it's hard to navigate which
Yeah.
ones are the correct ones to use, but the guide just helps a lot.
Yeah, 'cause I remember when you at the start, you used to send me, oh, when I'm having this, how do I log it? And I still get loads of people sending me, hey, I'm having this. Sometimes not
Yeah,
everything's on the guide, everyone has different things. But like, other day I had a lady say, I'm having dudhi na matya. How do I log that? I'm like, sometimes you gotta
yeah,
break it down a bit, right? You might not need to log
yeah,
dudhi, just log matya. It's
yeah,
not gonna be accurate, but at least you're doing something which is better. And I get what you're
yeah,
saying as well. If you went for a non-Asian company or, explain that to them, you're like, what is that? Send a picture and
yeah,
you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna be asked. I'm just gonna just skip it, basically. Um,
yeah,
which is good to hear. And if you were to give, kind of wrapping up a bit, and if you were to give
mm,
3 tips to people, who are either on the verge of where you were at 6 months ago, or who are already
yeah.
on a program, or looking to join a program, or looking to, come down the PT or online side of things of joining a program, what 3 tips would you give them to kind of say, you know what, just get out there and do it?
I would say first, life is short, so if you want to do this, get doing it now. There's always going to be, if you want to say, I want to do it in a couple of months because I've got, I don't know, a holiday or something coming out, there's always going to be something come out. No one ever has a clear 6 month schedule ahead. Um, so just get the hardest part is just reaching out and saying, yes, I want to do it, actually. Once you've done that, then you're on the program, and then um, your mindset will change, just like mine did. I was always nervous to say yes because then I know, oh, okay, then I'm going to have to do all this. But actually, it's not as daunting as you think it is. And um, the thing I like about the pro program is you don't say don't eat this food or don't eat that food. You can still eat your foods, but it's just more about understanding what you're eating and
Yeah,
making wise choices. I still have what a packet of crisps or a chocolate. I just don't have it every day like I used to. I'll have it now and again. I'll treat myself to it
yeah,
basically. So that's one of the things. And if you're then on the plan, then I'd say um, the best thing is the meal prepping and knowing what you're going to eat ahead of. So you know what you can have for the week ahead, and then you're just not your mind is not having to think on the spot, oh, what am I going to
yeah.
eat? Because in those it's those moments of hunger that you have that you make the bad decisions because you go for the high sugar, high fat contents. But if you know what you're having, then um you've got one less thing to worry about, and you're making good food choices. And I'll
100%.
say, yeah, and I'd also say just be honest as well um, on this program. The If you're not honest, then you're just not going to make the changes that I needed. And it's fine to struggle. Everyone struggles. I struggled during bits of it. That's what you guys are there for, to
Yeah,
help us get through these moments. Um, yeah, it's not a plain sailing, so you need that support and guidance. And if you're honest, you can sort of interrogate the bits where you're falling down or where you can improve, and that's what sort of leads to the best results.
100%. You hit it on the nail, right? Trusting the process, trusting yourself, and trusting us as coaches to help you. We're not mind readers. If
Yeah.
you don't tell us, we can't help you. You hit that very really well on the nail. And yeah, I've been glad having you on the podcast. Thank you, and we look forward to many more podcasts in the future, and hopefully you all enjoyed this one. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers.